great roamers, has really good teamwork between them. And on a map like this, can really exploit that. So, in they go. Once again, Penta's starting point for defense is the lobby. They are not afraid of showing this to the world. They're not afraid of what they might have already seen. They are confident in their strategies, confident in their play. Don't be scared of nothing.
So, I mean, yeah, like we had suggested it, or like we had guessed it is going to be first floor. Now, again, the same setup has been happening every single time for Penta on this floor. And, I mean, seeing as how Euronics has had 3 different occasions to watch this unfold for the better and for the worse of Penta, I have got to assume that Euronics knows how to take care of this, and take care of it quickly, take care of it well, and take care of it for the win. So, I don't see this being a spot that Penta could easily hold. They might get it off of lucky shots, but if it comes down to stretch, I think Euronics is going to get the win here.
Yeah, so cameras go outside once as before. That's right on board with Panari, running that hollow sight Hibana Type 89. As he sprays open these back walls, he of course use those charges to open up the ends, inside of the toilet wall again as well. There is already a hole in there with 6 Scutterers hiding on the inside of, looking out towards this window. Meanwhile, upstairs, Renewals is using that DMR Blackbeard again to make a nice angle in through the skylight stairwells to the back of Connector.
He's got to be careful, though, because some could easily hop out of the Visa window.
That's what he's looking at, and I'm sure, but yeah, he's cautious. More and more times now we see players repelling on this side, on the spiral stairs, but only in the recent meta. Secretly he is down there, you see inside Visa as well. They're covering that window for him. It's why he feels safe repelling up there. But Secretly's got a lot of contention on this corridor too. Tooney darts up and Secretly can't quite land the killing blow. In fact, landed no damage whatsoever on him. And the reason that Tooney did such a thing was he was trying to return the damage that they were putting onto 6 Quattro. You see he had to fell through the toilet trapdoor to escape because the Hibana was firing in through the window. Tooney comes out, goes for the kill on Panari, picks it up and gets back inside, looking straight down towards Visa to Secretly makes it in. Very big play by him. Took a bit of damage, but he made it count. Gets the first kill of the game.
Now we are here looking at Pengu, who's the Echo up inside of the meeting room, looking down towards the main entrance into the lobby. Now Shutex is out here as well as Snookin, but Shutex is going to be leading the way here in just a few moments. There's only 60 seconds left to 5-on-4, but 2 of the defenders are drastically hurt, equaling about the health of 1 operator. So therefore, I'm reason to believe that it might be considered a 4-on-4 here.
Pengu once again looking down through these holes he made on the floor towards the front of the map. Looking for them to come in. The smoke grenades are coming out. You can see a little bit, but can't quite land the kills as it's too hidden. Secretly takes out Tooney as he tries to peek on out. Now Pengu's looking to rotate down. Inside, downstairs, 6 Quattro is looking towards the site, but can't see the planter, but he will find Shutex, who gets taken out by it. In towards Visa, Pengu takes down Secretly, then comes on around the corner and finds Shutex, who already had no health, but Pengu can't finish him. Gets taken out himself, but he does get the guy behind him. That was the planter. Rendier comes around on the reload of that Capitao and finishes him off. The Blackbeard goes down now, and it's 2v1 against the Thermite, who cannot hold the fight as side jumps out from Visa. Gives Rendier a free defuse, and Penta, round number 1.
Magically able to pull that one from beyond the grave. You had Sai, who jumped outside of Visa, was outside detected, drew the attention of Blackbeard and Thermite, and was able to get both kills.
It's a really nice defense there from Penta. Like, they have enough dug-in hidden spots that they can't all be killed off, they can't be taken out from outside. But when they do then have to retake the site, when the push comes from ESG, when the plant's already down, it's so open that ESG have so much they have to cover that Penta just swarmed them from all angles and punished them. Euronics then going for the garage spawn themselves. They're going downstairs to hold. See how they choose to do it. We've already seen them running a heavy roaming lineup. We've seen Playing Ducks running a similar heavy roaming lineup on this map, and they're using that mute to make it possible and keep themselves safe and hidden in those upper floors.
So I mean, like what we're probably going to see here from ESG is either 2 or 3 roamers on main floor, possibly top floor, with the drop hatches open to rotate back down should they need to. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see one inside of the server room, watching for a push, a fast, heavy push from Visa. One of the things that we used to see here on this map, especially on the bottom bomb site, was a pulse to sit inside a server and possibly throw up a C4 into Visa, whether they were coming through the window or the doorway. That seems to have faded out and come out of the meta. Now, what's going to happen here? We're not quite sure just yet, but it looks like ESG might have the ability to get a kill here if he peeks on outside.
Cracking that window open without smashing the actual glass would have helped it be a lot quieter and stealthier. It's not as easily spottable from outside and spawn to see that that's open if you're not looking for it. Like, with the window closed, it's also even harder for them to notice. And they wouldn't have just straight up heard it shatter because the glass is still sealed. So, might not know if that's done if they're not paying attention, but he can still just one-tap vault out of it and catch someone by surprise if they're not paying attention. Pengu then repelled up here on these B windows with that Mark 17 looking inside. Does find Shutex as he peeks straight out into Pengu's crosshairs.
I don't even think a single shot left that weapon to hit Blackbeard's shield.
No, I think he was straight running away from something underneath him. But yeah, see, Sai came underneath him, was taking out the trapdoor, so he had to run from it. And in doing so, of course, he exposes himself to Blackbeard. So, very good job by Blackbeard being on the receiving end of that kill. And now you see Sai opening up some of the floor in Piano, able to get the battery charge. And I mean, what we're basically going to see here is similar. Oh, a couple bullets from Panari will land onto Tooney, as Panari also takes a bit of damage as he rotates down the yellow stairs. Yeah, he went up there, peeked up there, and took out the Hibana. Now he's up in the back down the white van, looking up through the hole made in Piano. That's the Ash that's up there. She is currently directly above his head, not in show of the hole itself, but moves around to safety. Blackbeard peeking into the staircase is cautious about his peek through that barbed wire because they know roughly where Panari is. Secretly down by Pipe as well, has that shotgun in hand. Pengu darts across the gap and then looks back the other way to try and find where Bandit may be. Bandit staying just hidden though, still looking up through that hole in the floor for now. Now starts to brave a peek up towards the staircase.
You've got 60 seconds left to go. A 4-on-4 with the last roamer for the defenders is going to be Valkyrie. She's all the way top floor inside of the meeting room above Sai.
She has this trapdoor open there.
She does, and you saw Sai throw out the drone. Will she be spotted, or will she be staying up there and eventually drop down for the flank? 45 seconds to go. You heard some of the smoke grenades go out. It looks like it might be a push. However, the gas grenade's going to stop that. As Rendir's going to be droning out towards the van, he will spot Bandit behind the van, but knowing there's a Bandit behind the van and being able to get him are two very different things. So, on the stairs with the shotgun is the smoke and a perfect peek in time with Panari. Panari shattered the shield and the shotgun finished Pengu off. He didn't do damage to either of them. Really well done. Last smoke grenade goes out and locks out the door, but now they have nothing left and 20 seconds on the clock. Thermite just missed the shots over Secretly's head as he tried to throw that smoke. But Capital's out there now too. Panari still unsure as Renewals takes Sai out from upstairs. Panari gets the kill on 6 Quattro, but he was being shot by smoke from the other side. Panari ends up with the third one for the end on Rendi here. But it was great coverage from Euronics to foul out the round. Yeah, very good triple headshot there. 2 from Panari and I believe 1 from
Renewals upstairs. It was the Valkyrie. She dropped down on top of the Ash that was still in Piano while they were distracted by looking down through the floor. Well timed. Yes, we knew he was upstairs. They knew he was upstairs. She had the trapdoor open, but she waited. She stayed hidden, and it wasn't until Ash had absolutely no option but to turn her face away from her that then she sprung the trap.
So, I mean, we've got here seeing the same operators we've seen from both sides for the majority of the part here, but what we will see different is they're going to be top floor.
Yep, obviously having that lobby unplayable now for Penta. They have to go elsewhere and they're trying to choose to go upstairs. Now, we've seen them do this again today. Euronics have seen them do this again today, but they are practiced at it. It's fresh in their mind. They know how to play it. Euronics are still, while they've watched, they've got an idea of it. It's a very different thing doing it in person, doing it for real. So we'll see how they actually manage to make it work, if they manage to make it work against them. And of course, they've got to be cautious of these 6 Gatros spawn peaks as well, if he chooses to do such a thing from so early on.
And you can see Snookin's drone is already out there. He spots it. Six doesn't see it. So they already know Six is here. I wouldn't be surprised if Shutex is going to go for a peek and try to pre-fire this shot onto Six. Renewals wants to do it. You can see him. He's getting the farther angle. He's going to reach above the white, but Six is already rotating back away as he realizes too much time has gone by. They're either not there or they're prepping for a nice kill.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it was. The Blackbeard edging forward on his own, looking up to it. They now deem it to be safe. Meanwhile, Sai on the Bandit was also not peeking elsewhere. Pengu currently on the yellow stairs with that smoke in tow. Was also thinking about peeking at this staircase, but has gone back into hiding a little bit himself, as he does hear the repels go out and up towards the roof now.
Yeah, it looked like Rendier was actually in garage potentially, either that or inside a piano. But there he is. So Rendier is inside a garage. Gonna go around for the flank eventually, or possibly just play the distraction role. There's plenty of time here for the attackers to either make the push onto Valkyrie if they know she's down there. If not, it could just be a good flank. Now, Toonie, again, is in his circle stairwell. It's where he'll be seen at the beginning of almost every round until he's forced out of there.
Holes being made into the top side of this site. Pengu very close by. Oh, the legs were just spotted by Secretly as he turns to EMP the B site. But nothing serious onto Pengu. Fire coming down, burning inside the site a little way. Making sure that's cleaned out and there's no one waiting inside B. Letting the man on the window do what he can. EMP down through the door means they know now it can be grenaded, they can take out anything else waiting on the inside, and Shutex can now stay up here comfortably alone.
So it looks like Shutex is probably going to rappel inside of the yellow stairs through that window between stories 1 and 2.
Toonie's right next to Panari!
Toonie's looking for the shot, sees the kneecap, and gets the kill.
Renewals, however, at the same time takes Sai out upstairs, so they trade with a great DMR shot right through to the A bomb. The Bandit kill for the Hibana. Toonie now has given his position away, and they know he's downstairs, and they'll see if they can do something about it. Rendier is looking to prone peek inside to and look at Renewals' window. Renewals is focused on the connector and what might be in there. Focus is back onto the A site now. Six Quatra is going to be on the receiving end of this shot if he steps out too fast. Snookin on the left-hand side there. Renewals darts across to the gap and will win that firefight.
That was a very nice move.
Shutex taking one out as well. Toonie will fall to him, and it's now 2 defenders left. Rendier is one. He does take down Snookin as he tries to repel him with the diffuser. Pengu's smoke is holding off the yellow staircase, but Shutex is now coming around and will take out the poor smoke. Rendier alone is now being banged through the wall from multiple angles and secretly ends him out from inside yellow stairs as Euronics found each and every member of Penta and closed in around them.
Very good job by ESG. What I really liked about that play on the window was Shutex was the one that droned, I'm sorry, Snookin was the one that droned out Six or whoever inside of the connector and inside of A bomb site. As soon as she got spotted repelling, she's moved off to the left. You had Blackbeard follow suit, following the same way, basically slid right in after the defender was already thinking, okay, she's out of the window, she's out of the way, I don't really need to fire that much. She just took 1 or 2 more shots, not enough to destroy the shield, but it was definitely long enough that Blackbeard was able to get the kill.
So upstairs go Euronics now. They have themselves the lead. Penta bringing a very similar lineup, same lineup they bring to almost every site. But they are going to have to fight up against Panari's castle setups. We'll see where he puts those. This top floor is one of the places we first started seeing Castle come back into the meta here on Consulate. A lot of players obviously deemed him useless, didn't play him. Then people started to, hang on, we can actually make this guy work in some certain sites. This was one. And then he started to come back flooding into a lot of other maps, things like Clubhouse and damn near every other map we've seen today, to be fair. But that rotate hole using the impact nade and this diagonal reinforcement here, giving them a way to run safely around the inside. I like what Snookin's doing here though. Look, he's punching the very bottom corner of the barricade 11 times. So it doesn't look punched. It's very hard for the attackers to see that it's punched. But when they need to get back through that, one punch, it's open, you can go. No pausing to pull it down, no hammering around, just run straight up to it, one punch it, it's open. Surprise factor, speed factor, and ESG can have control straight back of that room. Same thing here on the basement of that door. Looks sealed to everyone that's looking from the windows, anyone that's journeying through it, whatever, but all they need is one punch, it's open and they're gone. Don't have to worry about not hitting the right place, don't have to worry about one thing landing in the wrong section. It's one punch anywhere on the door, whole thing's gone, you can run
No
through.
need to know if you need to punch it mid-level, high-level, low-level in order to vault. It's just one punch and the entire door is gone.
Yeah. So, these little hits of preparation that sometimes go unnoticed but can be the difference between a win and a loss, or a life and a death. Tooney then, top of the skylight, shoots out 3 of his pellets, make a nice smaller hole, and then just checks the back of that cabinet. The 6 Quattro and Pengu come over to join him and start to pressure onto these B windows as only Blackbeard knows how to do so well.
I feel like on this map, Blackbeard on window kind of falls suit with Glaz on wing. That's just what I see. Blackbeard on window, that's all you really need to know.
Upside down then, Pengu sits, weapon in hand. I'm intrigued to see how little he's actually scoped in, considering how long the ADS time is these days. He looks for the Valve camera, does find it hidden, and looks at the bomb, and then looks towards the main central part of the site, but that castle barricade means he can't see a whole lot. Tooney picks up 1 kill here onto Shutex, repelling on Spiral. Shutex is there at the backside of that reception desk, not paying full attention. Tooney cautious of that window again. Grenades now coming in, not ideally from Rendier, but into the skylight all the same, as Sai smokes himself out of the side of the map.
Yeah, so we've got, 70 seconds left to go. It's still a 5-on-4. Plenty of time for the attackers to push in, but it's not a given just yet. You've got 4 defenders. We've seen stuff go poorly when you haven't been a man up on the advantage side. So with 60 seconds to go, I'm curious to see how this is going to play on out, because we do have Tooney at the bottom of yellow. You've got 3 repelled on corner office window. That is Hibana, that's Rendier, and it's also Blackbeard. And why there's 3, it's going to take so much time to repel in.
Yeah, thinking about it, they're looking for it, but the smoke grenades are there now. 6 Cutcher is inside, tucked behind the desk, but they're pinning secretly into the connector using firebolts and everything.
There
He's still got the smoke grenade off. Pins him down. Panari, however, does get taken off by the push. Pengu takes secretly down, but Snooken gets 2 of his own, taking off the Blackbeard from peeking outside. 6 Scratchers getting the plant on through. It is still 3v2 in favor of the defending team, but the Pulse cannot get underneath in time. Sai coming on up, looking for where they may be. Renewals is underneath. He's going to come up behind the Ash. She is not quite aware. She sees him in the last second, but cannot get the headshot. Renewals does, though. 6 Quattro in the far corner of the site is going to be the next man that Renewals has to fight. It's raised towards Connector. Snooken is still trying to find him. Does finally find him in this corner. It's going to try and C4 underneath. It's going to shoot underneath. He gets the kill.
Very nice. It's a 1-on-1 right now.
But 6 Quattro's already killed Renewals, so that guy has taken off, and now it means Snooken has to come all the way up the yellow stairs. Tooney's right down the far end of the site, and Snooken has to get across the gap. He's allowed him across. Snooken gets over it. They've seen him on the drone, though, so they know he's on the diffuser. He's going to try and hold it. He comes up and around, but can't get off in time. Tooney takes Snooken down with seconds to spare. Penta level it out 2 rounds to 2.
The first time we've seen Pulse, and you can see that's exactly why they chose him. Being able to play that vertical, knows exactly where that thermite was, or just any player in general. Standing still, holding the angle, you got the kill there. But
all Renewals had to do was peek 2 seconds later, and thermite would have never killed him. Just trust in your Pulse. Let him try and do that from below. If those first few bullets didn't get the kill, fine, then do something about it. He's obviously moved a little bit. Play for it. But he went underneath, he tried to pulse it, he found him, and the time it took Pulse to put the gadget away and start shooting, Renewal stuck his head out and died.
Yep.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
So what we're seeing here now is a tied match, 2-2 in this series. Again, first map, due to Euronics being in the winner's bracket the entire time they've taken first map. This is technically, quote-unquote, the second map of this series. So should Euronics win the next 3, they'll win this map, they'll win the series, they'll get that invite all the way to Montreal.
Penta then sticking true once more with their lobby defense. They won them the first round. It was a comfortable win as well. Going to give it another shot now. And set up identically. They are getting very well practiced at this. They are having a great run with it. 6 Quattro has slowed down on the aggressive peaks because his role in here in the toilets has been incredibly important. But he is now back to peeking out front with one of those hard peaks too. But Euronics don't even try and spawn over there or do anything of the sorts.
Now this is one of those soft angles I was talking about earlier when we were talking about 6's peeking and 6's angle holding, is he takes these soft angles. This is not necessarily an angle that you would look at from an attack when you're running across. It's basically, okay, the window, that would be an angle. But looking down here where Snooken is, Snooken knows, he's watched it enough, he knows that 6 looks through here, so that's why he's going prone and strafing across. But for most teams, 6 is holding the perfect angle against him. Now he does spot Snooken. Snooken sees him back. 6 is going to continue to go for that fight.
Dances in and out. Snooken does force him away and takes no... Oh, actually, he did take a little bit of damage. Took 1 bullet himself. But meanwhile, Sai is doing a similar thing, aggressively upstairs, taking down Renewals. I think that was down through a floor or out a window here in the printer room. And then reinforces this up to give himself somewhere to hide. Snooken takes the fight back with 6 Quattro and trades that kill. So they do go 1 for 1. The Rook for the Blackbeard, but I'll take a Blackbeard kill any day of the week. So Sai picking up a very valuable first frag.
Blackbeard or 6 on Rook? I mean...
Blackbeard. Rendier on the yellow staircase. Pengu once again up and above this front lobby door. Tuni once more in his spiral staircase. The guy has so much mobility here, so much freedom, and it's very hard to shake him from it thanks to the way Jaeger's speed works and the curve of that staircase. Secretly is inside Visa then. He takes out the camera above his head and drones around him to make sure it's directly clear, but directly above him, Sai sits in admin. He's once again cracked this window open without actually breaking the window itself, so he would have done it quietly. Doesn't have an angle on anyone because they're too close to the building. Yeah,
and unfortunately you can't vault out that window. That would be something you could fall and probably live to tell about it, but you'd be drastically hurt. But I know some teams would like that opportunity.
Tuni picks up a good kill inside. Now they're sending in one more to try and deal with him, but Rendier is there. Tuni takes a second one out, and then Rendier is there to trade on the push for him. Beautiful combination. Those two operators getting the last 4 kills between the pair of them. Euronics thinking they had them both pinned, or thinking they had Tuni pinned, didn't know where Renewals was, didn't know where his cover was, and just threw their lives away to that. And they clearly don't seem to know how to attack this lobby hold the Penta have set up.
I want to say Tuni on those circle stairs, like we've seen every single time, is very similar to if you're familiar with the NA teams, K9 being on the balcony of Chalet. You can guarantee that that's where he's going to be. But I mean, looking at what ESG is going to be doing here on defense, they're going to be going downstairs to the basement all the way. And it's where they won first round, their first defensive round, so hopefully they're going to pull off the same stunts and get the same win. That'll make it 3-3 again instead of match point for Penta.
Oh. They're going to hold firm. It's a more traditional defense, but they're really damn good at their traditional defenses. Their natural cohesion when it came to peeking and pushing and holding that garage door open
10 seconds to go.
was very, very well executed before. Let's see if they can do a similar thing.
5 seconds
They do send everyone back down towards the basement after finishing their reinforcers on the trapdoor, bar Renewals, who's coming up the stairs to plant these cameras in admin, and then just sit there in the far opposite corner of the map to where the attack's going to come from, or where the attack's going to end up, rather, as his way to surprise later on if required. He's also got Shutex up here with him, who is now once again running that silenced Jaeger, which now I sort of understand. Thanks, they've taken away the hit markers when you're getting shot by a silenced weapon. The fact that he still does great damage, still not awful recoil. I mean, you can actually use this to surprise if you play it right. However, they've already spotted him, they already know he's down there, and they are starting to shoot him through the trapdoor. He has to drop down through, and thankfully for him, they've moved off that window already. Now, however, he's looking towards Visa. The drone does spot him from Rendier. He takes it out, heads towards the front lobby. There's a man about to peek the door, and he goes into here hiding and gets away from the man in Visa. Every single one of these Penta players that could have just about peeked him to find him lets him get away by a pixel. Yeah.
So with Shutex rotating back downstairs, that's left Valkyrie all alone. However, the cams, basic cam should have been destroyed, but this is going to give so much information. You can see 3 of the attackers all trying to push in from the main lobby.
Pressure getting to Penta, no doubt. Leaving things like that open is not good. And now, having not killed Shutex, they're punished for it. Rendier falls to him, and he heads back upstairs now to join Renewals some more. So they have got him back onto this top floor. Penta did not do a good job of hurting him, not do a good job controlling him, and to make it worse, they then lost their Capitao to him. Capitao, an incredibly powerful operator when attacking this garage basement because of the kind of zone control he can give. Pengu on the window sees Shutex and loses to him. 6-4 will get C4'd away by the Valkyrie. Sorry, by Bandit. Bandit running C4, that's novel.
And now Blackbeard got off the corner off his window. Looks like he wants to try to get in. Now, that was Bandit down there, possibly getting the shots down onto him, but Blackbeard actually scoots his boot all the way up the yellow stairs. He'll come back down from a different angle as Renewals picks up the 3rd kill onto Tuni. It's a 2-on-5 right now, 60 seconds left to go.
Make that a 1-on-5, and it's Pengu against the world. On this yellow staircase now, he's surrounded. He knows he can't go down because 1, it's smoke, 2, Panari's waiting there. 2, he knows Shutex is somewhere around here behind him. He just lost out Thatcher to that player. Shutex is playing the smart way though. He's gone down towards the site. He's reinforcing the door in kitchen. Even with the diffuser upstairs, Renewals is going to drop, and it actually does punch the drone and get found by Pengu. But it just locks the information in. Drops down through the trapdoor. Oh, he gets a second one. That's a surprise, but Snooken, no surprises, is there immediately afterwards to trade it back and takes Pengu out. I guarantee Shutex was not expecting that drop to come in. And yeah, he was looking towards the door.
And so with that, 3-on-3, we're moving into round 7 of this final, the grand finals here. This is map number 2.
Yeah, map number 2, technically. Chalet, the default win map that headed over to Euronics already. And it's now time for Euronics to try and edge this gap forward. They haven't had a good run of attacking the Penta defenses. They need to just grab one, because their defenses are their own. While they're not necessarily the most strategic, while they're not the most reinforcement and positions focused
They're not the most elaborate. Yeah.
No, they're not the most elaborate. They are just great at running around, staying alive, and shooting everything they see. There's very few situations where a Euronics gamer will fire at someone and then let them walk away. And that's helping them win these defenses no matter what. Whenever they see someone from Penta, that person dies. Penta, on the other hand, haven't done a great job of seeing someone from Euronics and punishing them for it. They drone so many, they just about let that Shutex run around for way too long.
So looks like this is going to be Six's next peaking spot. Is he going to get someone? There's 4 ESG members that have started out there, and Six does have the upper hand. Just whether or not that window got droned out before ESG begins to move from it. And it looks as though Six is already determined that's not where I want to die today.
Yeah, again, Euronics are just slowly coming out of each spawn. They didn't necessarily drone that specific window, but then they will go late droning outside, check that outside, and very cautiously look at each one of them. By that time, Six Scotchers, all right, I've missed my opening, I've missed my window. No one's going to sprint past, not paying attention. They're all watching and ready, and he runs away to safety. So, smarter play. Obviously doesn't result in the early kill. Sai, another player that normally gets first kills here for Penta, down in admin at the moment, holding firm himself. Not playing too aggressively, but everyone from Euronics is up the other end of the site at the moment. Meanwhile, Pengu has already been naded down in the yellow staircase and finished off by Shutex with a second grenade. So he goes down. Oh, he gets fired down apparently, and then gets grenaded out. Rendier in and underneath this skylight. It's not uncommon for players to run to that skylight after successfully doing something in the yellow skylight. So it's a very aggressive spot, but it could be a high risk, high reward if he catches someone here.
Yeah, I believe we saw someone from playing Ducks die on these stairs earlier.
Tooney, yeah.
So definitely something you still need to keep an eye on. And we can see Rendier's very cautious of that window.
Tooney just sat there and got eaten up. Renewals on that window now. Six Scratcher is going to thank him for that hole, really. To be fair, it's going to give him a better angle in towards where Six Scratcher's sitting. Can't quite land the headshot.
Close to that headshot.
Six Scratcher scampers away with his tail between his legs, but survives it. Meanwhile, Shutex has picked up another kill, this time onto Tooney. The roamers are falling for Penta. Shutex inside yellow stairs now. Looks to make his way further up, and the rest of Penta are pinned back and towards the A side of this site. Cannot hold B. Downstairs, Panari kills Rendier, but does get down for his issues. And here's where a lot of teams would fall apart, and Euronics would send him down to revive him really fast. They don't need to. They're 4v2 even without him on his feet. And Shutex doesn't need to be the one that goes. Someone else has gone down to pick him up.
It's actually, yeah, it's still 5v2 right now. So Shutex got that kill into Sai. Last man alive is going to be Rook over here. He's over inside of the main hall, or I'm sorry, inside of the A-bomb site. But with diffuser planted, 5 health to go, going against 5 players, that's what's bound to happen. You're bound to get
We've seen some big clutches from Six Scatterer in the past, but that's a bit too big even for him. Blackbeard on the window, Thermite waiting inside on the plant, and the whole cross was covered too. Giving Euronics that lead and the match point. Now, it's a bit early to call because Penta have been keeping them point for point up until this stage. However, it was Penta leading the charge. It was Penta that were one up and then Euronics would catch, and then Penta that was one up and then Euronics would catch. This is the first time second time Euronics have taken the lead. They were 2-1 for a little while. Will that trend continue? Will Penta close this gap up? Or are Euronics going to hold their defense rounds, which they've been so good on so far?
I think we're going to see ESG hold this, because this is the map or the bomb site that they started on. This is the bomb site that they won, and this is the bomb site I think that they're one of the best at. So I definitely see this going in favor of ESG. If it doesn't, then that's props to Penta for being strong and being able to change up and adapt to this hold from ESG.
It's another one which an unchecked Shootex can destroy as well.
Yep.
With the repels that are going to be done, with the jumping outside he could do, with the backstabbing on yellow stairs or even on Visa stairs that he could get done if they don't pin him down. He can turn around on his head, so Penta need to find him and deal with him.
Snookin doing the same thing to the castle wall. That played a vital role in getting some of the kills. Now, unluckily for them, they did not get the win that time, but that did play a vital role in being able to get some of the kills.
Yeah. So he also then heads into admin to a similar thing over there. Shootex is going to go close by. Snookin checking outside with his heartbeat sensor early on to find anyone that may be there. Sees the windows next to him being shot open. That gives away a lot of information about who might be coming. There we go. He now sees the heartbeat of someone climbing up onto that window. Shots come rattling in and open the wall just above his head. But then he sees the heartbeat's gone missing. That person has gone down.
That's good intel nonetheless, knowing that, hey, someone was here, they're no longer. We can now kind of play it safe or play it a little bit more more freedom-ish on that window with a little bit more liberty. But now Pengu's gone upside down to the double windows of admin. That's going to force Snookin out over into fax machine or into printer. See someone rappelling up. Now, will he try to push him?
No, he's actually running away. It's rappelling down, and it gives him the freedom to, again, run back to safety. So he's gathered information, sees how many people, roughly 3, maybe 4 people around admin, and then falls back to safety. Meanwhile, Shootex, we talked about how important it was to pin him down, is happily staying inside the site with his team. They're staying very comfortably upstairs this time, all of them near and around the site. Renewal's being the slightly furthest afield, but he's at the bottom of a set of staircase that could easily get him straight back up there when required.
Yeah, and I think with a nitro in hand, he's able to try to destroy someone from underneath once they pop into admin. As we do see Thermite's in there, Hibana's in there. Now it's just a matter of, is there going to be a Valcan that gets that intel so he can toss the nade or the C4 up? And he does. There's going to be Renewals getting that kill onto 6.
6 Quattro down, but Tooney had traded Shootex out as well, so it is still a 4v4. Pengu now is up onto the A balcony and looking to shoot open the window and fire in towards Connector and help cut that off for the Penta push to come up next, in through from admin. Tooney once more droning forward as he is already low health. He needs to know what he's getting in for. ESG have 3 players upstairs and pinned in towards the B site, and 1 player on the yellow stairs pinned downstairs. Rendia now with Pengu on this balcony is going to drone in for him and check behind the A-bomb itself. It now being clear means Pengu can focus his attention towards the connector. Smoke charges going out towards the Visa stairs means secretly stays safe doing it, but ultimately is actually not getting a lot of time for it. That one gets out towards the window. It's going to push Pengu back a little way. He does actually cough and splutter a little, but the smoke charge itself, not great cover for any kind of movement inside.
So I think this is kind of where you want to see if you can get your smoke or your pulse downstairs. Now this is actually the first time I've seen IQ played. I didn't realize Sai was playing IQ, but that's to hunt out that pulse.
Tooney takes down Panari, but it doesn't matter about the pulse because it's going to blow up the C4 planter already. Renewals does get a kill of his own, but Sai will take Snookin out afterwards. Pengu's inside now and has the diffuser, but secretly shotguns him down. Sai versus Renewals. It is a 1v1. Smoke inside with a shotgun.
It doesn't get it!
But it doesn't matter. There's no time. And with that, Euronics are going to Montreal in a month's time.
Very close job there. I mean, once that call that IQ was coming up the stairs, got the kill, the blind fire through the door. He was just trying to open it up. Got the kill into Valkyrie. Next thing you know, the call should have been stay inside bomb site, or if the drop hatch is open, drop through the hatch, because she was rushing in and just barely missed that kill.
Yeah, mere millimeters away. 1/2 second of lucky